Hello everyone. So in this video I'm going to talk about how to use the select statement. Okay, so what is the select statement? So select statement, one of the powerful, useful statements in SQL. Um, it's for the purpose of retrieving data. So we use that statement, the select statement, to retrieve data from from one table, from multiple tables. Okay, so all right, so let me show you how the select statement works. So let me give you a number of examples. So I got MySQL Server running. I got Workbench. Okay, let me minimize MAMP. So I got Workbench running. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, click this connection, and password root. Okay. So now that we're in, I'm going to use the week 4 DB that I created previously. So I'm going to say use week 4 DB. Okay, so now, so to speak, I'm inside that database. Okay, now, so let's start talking about the select statement. So the select statement is composed of many clauses, starting with the select clause. Okay, so this is how it works. So you type select, okay, and then you specify which fields, which columns of information you want to request. So let's focus, for this video, let's focus on getting information from one table. All right, so if I want to get all fields, all columns from the vehicles table, remember this database actually has, let me see, let me backspace that and delete that and show tables. Okay, so there is one table, and that is the vehicles table. In fact, let's do describe vehicles to see the structure. Okay, there you go. So I'm just going to put that there. And what I'm going to do is going to create another SQL tab just to keep that separated. Okay, so let me expand the tables, the vehicles, and the columns, just so we can see the name of the fields down here. Okay, so because we're going to need that as we're typing the select statement. So let's type select. So I want to get all these fields, all information that's stored in these fields. So select. I can type the fields one by one, separated by comma, VID, VMake, VModel, but I could do that if I want to exhaust myself, I want to time myself, or I can just type a wildcard, in this case, the asterisk. Okay, not the question mark, asterisk. Okay, so that means all fields. In this context, it means all fields. So like saying select all fields from which table? Okay, so now you specify which table are these fields, or rather, from which table you want to get the information. Okay, so, well, we only have one table, so obviously we're going to put here vehicles, put a semicolon, press Control Return to run that statement only, and there we have it. Okay, we have the result. Okay, so this is the result of that select statement. So we've just successfully retrieved data from that table. You might say, well, Joel, you could have just gone here in the GUI and viewed the contents of that table. True, that's true. But remember, what we're here for is to learn the statement to get the data, not to rely on a program or some GUI like this, like a graphical interface like this, to retrieve the data. No, we need to know the statements to get the data. Okay. All right. So has to be much more interesting than that. Well, absolutely. But I want you to note that as this is, select asterisk from vehicles, notice the result, okay? It's sorted by the primary key, which is the VID. Okay, so by default, if you don't say anything about how you want things sorted or arranged, okay, it's going to be sorted according to primary key. So let me see. Let me put a comment here. We can put dash dash. Get all fields, or it's like saying get all information, get all info on all vehicles, whatever we have in the database. Okay, so that statement does that. Next, let's create another example. Let's make another example. How about how about we arrange this by, yeah, I don't know. Let's try by model name. Okay, so get all info on all vehicles. Um, Sort by model name. Okay, so if we're to do that, so we're going to type practically the same thing. Select which fields from which table. Okay, but you're also going to need to add now another clause, CLAUSE by the way, another clause from the select statement, and that is the order by. The order by clause is specifically for sorting, for arranging the data, the result that you're going to get. So we're going to say order by vModel. Okay, so we put the name of the field that we want to sort the result by. Okay, so let's see that. Let's control return. All right, so if we take a look at, I'm going to zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, so we can see here that indeed the oh, I wonder why the model name has the year also. But anyway, let's not focus too much on that. Okay. So yeah, this. Okay. So yep, this is sorted by model name. Yeah. So we got C, D, G. I mean, this started with a space for some reason. Something got messed up probably, but it's okay. We got M, R, and then the S. All right. So that indeed worked. Okay. So can we sort by? Okay, vModel is a varchar field. If you remember how we created this database, this table. Okay, so can we use a field that's not a varchar? Absolutely. In fact, let's do this. Get all info on all vehicles. Sort from let's call it least to most expensive. Okay, so we want all information, so that means select asterisk. From which table? There's only one. In this database, only one table. So from vehicles. Now we're going to put order by. In this case, v price. Notice the similarity between these two in that these two will sort the information in ascending manner, going up. In other words, in the case of the vModel, it's from some space or some character all the way, like it's basically like A to Z, like you would sort people's names or book titles. In this case, sort by price is from lowest to highest. So let's see. I haven't ran it. This result here is from this select statement. Okay, so let's try this one. Control return, and let's magnify that. Okay, and yep. So that seems to be the least expensive. I don't want to call it cheapest, least expensive, all the way to the most expensive, which should be, yep. What do you expect? The Rolls-Royce Ghost. Okay. I mean, it's an older model. Actually, this is older data that I used for my other classes too. But in any case, yeah. So in this case, the data is sorted rather by price. Okay. Now, the thing about select statements is that okay. I mean, it's cool. We got the asterisk here. We can get all fields. Um, but if you're working on a large database, you don't want to use that all the time. In fact, you don't want to use that all the time just as a general rule. What you want to do is just get the fields or just get the bits of information that you need, and that's it. No more than that. The more fields you involve in your query, the more data the computer has to work on, has to process, and that's going to slow down the performance of your database system. Okay, so just get what you want. Just get what you need. Okay. All right. So in this case, let's say we want to see the name. I mean, rather, let's step backwards. Okay, the year, the make, the model, and the price of all vehicles. Okay, but we want the list sorted by like this, from the most expensive to the least expensive. So um, let me use a multi-line comment here. So get let's do it. Let's type it this way. So year, make, model, and price of vehicles, of all vehicles rather, and we want this sorted by sort from most to least expensive. Okay. So I'm just putting these comments so you know what these select statements are doing. Okay. All right. So let's see. Select. So we're selecting just those 4 fields. So that means we're going to put select, not asterisk. We're going to put the name of the field. So v year, comma, v make, oops, comma, v model, comma, v price, from, okay, vehicle stable again. We don't have to type the select statement in one line. Actually, you can split the clauses into lines. Okay, so you can type the select in one line, the from in another, and the order by in another. Okay, so select yada 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 from vehicles, order by. I'm just typing it here because I'm running out of space. Order by v price. But if we leave it like this is gonna be from least to most expensive, meaning from the lowest priced item to the highest priced item. That's why it's ascending. We're coming from the lowest and then going all the way to the top. In this case, we want it the other way around. We want to come from the top and then going down, right? So how do we sort it, so to speak, in reverse? In other words, from most expensive to least expensive. The trick is you need to put after the v price, after the field that you're using to sort your information by, you need to put the modifier DESC, stands for descending. So again, if you don't have DESC, what is it? It's ascending, going up. Once you put DESC, now that changes the ball game. That becomes descending, going down. So meaning from highest to lowest. So let's see if I'm lying. Let's run that. Control Enter. There you go. So I got the most expensive vehicle listed first. Okay, let me zoom in if you cannot see that in the video. Zoom again. All right, so the most expensive, that Rolls-Royce Ghost, down to the next Rolls-Royce Ghost, which is a little cheaper, cheaper relative to the first one, and so on and so forth, going down. As you can see, the price is going down. Now, some of my students asked before, Joel, what if I want the price listed here as the first column? Well, that's easy. All you got to do is put the price. Okay, you should have, instead of putting that there, you would put it here. So just before the v year, you would put v price, comma, v year. Of course, we're going to take that out. You know, it'll be like that. Okay, so if you do it that way, and let's run this. So apparently your price will be listed first, followed by the year, which makes sense, right? V year is followed by price over here in our select statement, and then so on and so forth. Okay, so how you want to sequence these fields? Let me undo that. This is how we had it earlier. Okay, and let me rerun it. Okay, so how you want to sequence these fields? It's really up to you. It really depends on how you want to get the data from the database. Really, the database system doesn't care which fields you list here and in what order. If you use the asterisk instead of listing the fields like this, if you use the asterisk, how are the fields will be sorted? How will these columns be sequenced? They're going to be sequenced in the same way they're in the table. So if you said select asterisk, you're going to see in your first column is VID, VMake, and then VModel, and so on and so forth in that order, just like how you have in the table. Okay. All right. So can we sort some other way? Actually, I'm going to do this. All right. So I want to sort by year. Okay, by the year, and then I want to sort by the make, the company that made the vehicle, and then I want to sort by the model. So multiple field sorting. Okay, that's what this is called. Okay, so let's just say year, make, model, just like the top. and price, okay, of all vehicles, but this time sort ascending, okay, by year, make, and model. In other words, for those vehicles that are from the same year, let's say 2011, all of the 2011s, they'll be sorted by by their maker, by the maker's name. Oh, oops, Control Z. If I mean, for those vehicles that are from the same maker, they'll be sorted by the model name. So how do we do that? All right, so this is how it works. Let me just press enter a couple of times or return. Select V year. You can copy and paste the previous select statement. And V price from vehicles. Order by V year, comma, V make. Yep, that's how you do multiple field sorting. You just type the fields, you list them in that order, given the way you want, in that order, the way you want to sort them. Okay, so by year first, then followed by make, then followed by model. Okay, so let's see. This should give us all vehicles from the same year. They should be sorted by their maker's name. Now, all vehicles from that have the same make, the same company, they should be sorted by their model name. So let's see. Control return. All right, so all 2011s, zoom in. Okay, let's see closely. All 2011s, yep, we got 3. Right, so they're sorted by their year. Okay, so that's true. So you see 2011, 2012, so it's going up. Dodge, so all, let's see, well, this is tricky because all of them are in the same year. All Dodges are in the same year. But if you look at the model name, yep, they're sorted. So L, this is O, this is S, that's good. Let's see, all 2012s. All right, so we got Ford listed first, because it starts with F. And then you got Toyota, starts with T. And all Toyotas are sorted by their model name. So C and then R RAV4 and then R RAV4 space and then limited. So yep, it works. Okay. Now here's an exciting bit. Say I want the latest models listed first. Like this one lists the oldest model. Okay, like the 2011. All right. Now if we look at the bottom of this list, well, in this database, the latest model is a 2014, or are these 2014s? So, if you ask, well, how do I list the 2014s first, then the 2013s, and so on? So backwards. Now, if you're thinking to put the DESC here at the end, actually that's wrong. What this will do is will sort your list by year, ascending, by make, ascending, and by model name, descending. Okay, so we don't want that. We want the year to be descending and everything else as ascending, ascending. Okay, so V year, DESC, comma, all right, and then you continue on with the rest of the fields. So if you want these all descending, you would put DESC in each of them. Okay, but I don't want that. Okay, so so I want the latest listed first. So that means the highest year, so to speak, in this database. Followed by the make. I don't want it descending, I want it ascending, followed by the model name, ascending. So let's see that. Control return, and boom, there you go. We got the year, 2014s, then the 2013s. The makes are still sorted by, from A to Z, and then the model name still, alphabetically ordered from A to Z. All right, so, okay, that's how the order by works, and that's also how the select statement works. I mean, the select and the from clauses work. Okay. Now, just to add one more example here, list of makers or companies. Now, I guess I mean this as well. What are the various companies that are in here in this database, in this table? Now, you might be tempted to answer this as select vmake from vehicles, and well, let me show you the issue here. All right, so I'm gonna run this, and lo and behold, I mean, not surprising, you're gonna get a list of, well, basically all the values in the vmake column. Now that's not what I want. What I want is I want just the name of the companies. I want them listed repeatedly like that. So, like a set of companies. So let's say if there are Fords there, doesn't matter if there are 5,000 Fords. That Ford, the name Ford will just be listed once, and then Toyota will be listed once, and so on and so forth. So given what's in the vehicle stable, I just want the list of companies. Okay, doesn't matter how many vehicles are there from each manufacturer. Okay, so to do that, you're not gonna the order by will not be able to help you with that. You're gonna need um, a keyword. It's called the distinct. Okay, so this is how you're gonna do it. So select, and then you're gonna add here distinct. Okay, vmake from vehicles. All right, so let's control return. Okay, there you go. So there are your makers. All right, so they're not repeated anymore. So in other words, the well, the distinct pretty much says everything. If you look up the meaning of that word, so we got just the distinct names of the manufacturers. It doesn't matter how many vehicles they have. We have in the table Toyotas. If we have like 100 Toyotas, Toyota will just be listed once. Okay, and I guess instead of putting a semicolon there, just to kind of make this a little better to look at, we're gonna order it by name. So vmake control return, and there we have it. Okay, we got the company name sorted alphabetically from A to Z, and we're not getting repeating company names given the number of vehicles we have in the table. We're just getting the distinct names. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that.